Hashtag, why did you forget me, human? The night was unusually quiet. Ryan's small suburban house stood solitary against the backdrop of a star-filled sky. He had just settled into his creaky armchair, the remnants of his takeout dinner on the coffee table, when the doorbell rang. The sound startled him. It was late, too late for visitors. Hesitant, he peered through the peephole and froze. Standing on his porch was someone, or something, he thought he'd never see again. It was Aria. Her silvery blue skin shimmered faintly in the moonlight, and her violet eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity. She hadn't aged a day, her ethereal beauty untouched by time. Her long, flowing hair seemed to ripple even without wind, a cascade of metallic hues that defied earthly explanation. Ryan's heart raced as he opened the door, his mind struggling to comprehend her presence. "Aria," he whispered, his voice trembling. "How?" She stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, her gaze piercing through him. "Why did you forget me, human?" she asked, her voice a mix of sorrow and accusation. Ryan's memories rushed back like a tidal wave. The summer nights on the hill, gazing at the stars with her beside him. The nights she revealed her true identity as an alien scout from a distant galaxy, sent to observe humanity. And the night she left, promising to return, but warning that she might not be able to. He had waited for her, for years, but life had moved on, dragging him with it. I didn't forget," he stammered. "I just didn't think I'd ever see you again." Aria's expression softened, but pain lingered in her eyes. "Do you know how far I've traveled to find you? How many times I defied my people's orders? All for you, Ryan?" Her words hit him like a blow. "I didn't ask you to," he began, but the look on her face silenced him. "You didn't have to," she said. "I felt it. Every moment we were apart, I felt your absence like a void. But when I finally returned to Earth, you weren't waiting." Ryan sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Aria, I waited for years, but life here doesn't stop. I had to move on. I didn't know if you could even come back." Her shoulders slumped, and for the first time, she looked vulnerable. "I'm here now," she said quietly, "and I need you to tell me if it was all for nothing. Do you still care?" The air grew thick with tension. Ryan's mind was a storm of emotions. He'd buried the pain of losing her, convinced himself it was better to forget. But seeing her now, he realized he never truly had. "I cared then, and I care now," he admitted, his voice barely audible. "But things are different. I've changed. My life, it's not what it was." Aria stepped closer, her eyes searching his. "Then let me change it again. Come with me, Ryan. Leave this world behind and explore the stars with me. You'll see wonders you can't even imagine." His heart skipped a beat. The temptation was overwhelming. But the weight of his life on Earth, his job, his friends, his responsibilities, held him back. "I don't know if I can," he said, his voice breaking. "This is my home, Aria." Her expression hardened, and tears glistened in her eyes. "I see," she said, her voice trembling. "You've made your choice." She turned to leave, but Ryan grabbed her hand. "Wait," he said. "Maybe I can't leave everything behind, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. Maybe there's another way." Aria hesitated, her eyes searching his. "Another way?" "Stay," he said. "Stay here with me. We can build a life together on Earth. You don't have to leave again." Her gaze softened, but she shook her head. "I can't, Ryan. My people, they'll come for me. And if they find out I've stayed, they'll destroy everything." A heavy silence filled the room. Both of them knew the truth. Their worlds were too different, their love a fragile bridge between galaxies. "Then this is goodbye," Ryan said, his voice cracking. Aria nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. She leaned in, pressing her forehead to his. "Goodbye, Ryan. I'll never forget you." And with that, she turned and walked into the night. A faint hum filled the air as a beam of light enveloped her, and she disappeared into the stars. Ryan stood on the porch, staring at the empty sky. He didn't move for a long time, the weight of her absence pressing down on him like a lead blanket. The weeks that followed were a blur. Ryan went through the motions of his life, but nothing felt the same. He'd wake up in the middle of the night, half expecting to see her glowing eyes in the dark. He often found himself staring at the stars, wondering if she was looking back. One evening, as he returned home, a strange package sat on his doorstep. It was small and metallic, humming faintly with energy. Nervously, he brought it inside and opened it. Inside was a device unlike anything he'd seen before, along with a handwritten note in Aria's elegant script. *Ryan, I couldn't leave you completely. This device will let us speak across the stars. It's not much, but it's something. I'll always be here for you, even if I can't be with you. Yours forever, Aria. Ryan stared at the device, tears welling in his eyes. He activated it, and her voice filled the room. "Hello, Ryan," she said softly. "I'll always be listening." From that day forward, Ryan's life found a new rhythm. He couldn't be with Aria, but they spoke often, sharing their lives across galaxies. She told him of her travels, the wonders she'd seen, and he shared his simple joys and struggles. Their love endured, not as a bridge between worlds, but as a thread that wove their hearts together, defying the vastness of space. Though they were apart, they were never truly alone. And every night, as Ryan gazed at the stars, he knew she was out there, watching the same sky, their connection unbroken.